PTSD is biblical, and we showing you that. You understand that? And we showing you how to get over that thing.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68.
Bring it out.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee.
So the Lord said he will bring God said in 20, God prophesied, Moses prophesied that the real Jews, they were going to slavery. You understand that? And how did the Lord say we were going to slavery?
With ships.
Let me ask you something. The so-called white people in Jerusalem, did they go into slavery with ships? That happened to the so-called African Americans. What we proving to you is that the Bible belongs to us. The Bible is our book. The fake Jews, they don't have nothing to do with this. You understand that? They are fake Jews. What do they call themselves? Jewish. What does it mean? What does ish mean? You ever heard it? That mean they trying to be ish. If I say, yeah, black-ish. You're not really black, you just acting like you black.
Okay, but Jewish is passed down through their mothers.
Numbers 1. So you said Jewish is passed down through their mother. How do the Bible say your lineage is supposed to be determined?
Teach up.
Your patriarch, so through your father. Exactly. So we're going to show you that. Numbers. Actually, we ain't got to go there. You already know that. Let's go back to Deuteronomy 28. I don't want to go away from the point. You understand that? So the Bible say your lineage is based off your paternity, what your father is, your patriarch. Naphtali. Yes, those are the people that's in Argentina and Chile. So read on. Where you from? Yeah, you might be from Ephraim. If you're from Rwanda, that's close to the Congo, you might be Ephraim. It's close to Congo. Yeah, so go to Isaiah. Hold on, just stay right here. All right, so let me finish reading this, all right? Because I want to help you get over your PTSD. I want to show you how to deal with it.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee.
So God said the real Jews are going to slavery on ships, read.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
And God said when the real Jews went into slavery, they wasn't going back to their homeland. We wouldn't return to Jerusalem until Christ came back. So you got to ask yourself, if those people are in Jerusalem right now, and God said the real Jews won't go back to Jerusalem until Christ comes, are they the real Jews? Hey, guess what? That means that they not the real Jews. Because that's the whole purpose of the New Testament is to wait on Christ.
Right.
But read on.
And there you shall be sold unto your enemy.
And God said when the real Jews got off those slave ships, they would be sold into their enemies. Like Joseph. Guess what? The fake Jews was never sold into slavery. They went into Holocaust. I want you to pay attention. I know it's good that you know Bible history, but I'm trying to show you what the prophecies is talking about. So God said the real Jews will be sold into their enemies. The fake Jews, the people over there in Jerusalem, was they ever sold into slavery? No, the Holocaust was not slavery. As a matter of fact, the Holocaust was an act of war. Because they was at war at that time. They were just prisoners of war.
Right.
You understand that? Yes, exactly. POWs. Read on.
Bondmen and bondwomen.
And God said the real Jews will be bondmen and bondwomen. That means slave men and slave women. When you look at us today, we still slave. Yes, sir. When you look at us today, we still slave men and slave women. Because that 9 to 5, that's slavery. Hold on, don't go there yet. I'm going to finish this point. Read on.
And no man shall buy you.
And God said no man shall buy you. Meaning no man shall redeem you except Jesus Christ. So the point I want you to remember is we all suffer with PTSD because of the things God said would happen to us. You understand that? We all suffer with PTSD. Now go to Psalms chapter 69. Because though our whole community deal with those things, guess what? God actually shows us how to overcome it. Read.
This is the book of Psalm, chapter 69, verse 20.
I'm going to let you ask a question after this, all right?
Reproach hath broken my heart, and I am full of heaviness.
So God said, the real Jews right now, they going through reproach, and it's broken our mind. What's reproach? Let me ask you that. Reproach means people trying to put you off. People don't want to deal with you. Reproach is shame. Our people, we going through shame. What's shame? How do you know we're going through the shame? When you turn on the TV and you can see a black man get shot down in his own house, that's shameful. Because if it can happen to who did it happen to? The brother that's in Dallas? What was his name?
Botham John.
If it can happen to Botham John, guess what? It can happen to you. It can happen to me. So that's a shameful thing to turn on the TV and see those things. When you look at Breonna Taylor, she was gunned down in her own house. When you turn on the TV and you see those things, guess what? those things hurt the mind of our people. You understand that?
No.
So God said our reproach has made us shameful, read.
And I look for some to take pity.
And guess what? We look for people to have pity on us. That's why we march in the streets and we say Black Lives Matter.
Right.
We asking for the same people to shoot us down, we ask for them to have pity on us. Guess what? The so-called white man will never have pity on the black community.
Right.
We got to remember that they brung us over here on slaves. That did not change. They not going to have pity on us.
Right.
Marching with the white man has never done nothing for us. Guess what? Martin Luther King marched with white people. And we still marching with white people today in 2021.
Right.
We still getting shot down in the damn streets.
Right.
So guess what? God said we looking for pity in the wrong places. Read.
But there was none, and for comforters, but I found none.
So guess what? God said even though we might look for comfort, a lot of our people deal with PTSD. And we look for comfort from who? The doctors, the medicines, weed, crack, whatever our people deal with, we look for comfort. But God said that's not true comfort. You understand that? God said when you go to church and the pastor tell you to pay your tithes and it's all good, God said that's not true comfort. You understand that? Read.
They gave me also gall for my meat, and in my thirst they gave me vinegar to drink.
So this talking about Christ. Is this something else on this you want to do?
Keep going down.
Read on.
Let their table become a snare before them, and that which should have been for their welfare, let it become a trap. Let their eyes be darkened, that they see not.
So hey brother, you heard of King David before, right?
Yeah, I heard of it.
This is what King David is saying. King David is sending a prayer to God, and he asking that God do all these bad things to his enemies.
Right.
You understand that? King David is your forefather. The reason I'm making this point, because a lot of times when you go to the Christian church, they tell you to do a praise dance and pay your tithes, and it's all good in the name of Jesus. That ain't what David was saying. David said, pray to God to smite his enemies. You understand that? It's more on that, officer. Read on.
And make their loins continually to shake. Pour out thine indignation upon them.
So God said, David prayed that God pour out his fierce anger upon the heathen.
Right.
God said, because these white people, David said, because these white men are killing our people in the streets, murdering our brothers and our sisters. David prayed for the Lord to pour out his anger upon them.
Right.
David didn't say turn the other cheek and let him whoop your ass.
Right.
But that's what T.D. Jason tell us to do. Read on.
Psalm 91:1. Go ahead. The book of Psalm, chapter 91, verse 1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High.
So guess what? Going back to you dealing with your PTSD, God said when you dwell in the secret place of the Most High, the secret place is the Bible. So God said when you got your head in the Bible, read,
shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty.
So God said when you actually start studying his Bible and applying his commandments, God said at that point he will start to protect you. You understand that? He will start to take that PTSD away from you. Read on.
I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with his feathers. And
so, hold on. All this is saying when we start keeping God's commandments, that's when he will cover us. That's when we will stop getting shot down in the streets. That's when we won't see no more George Floyds. That's when we won't see no more Ahmaud Arbery's. That's when there will be no more Trayvon Martins, when we start keeping God's commandments. A fowler is a bird, or like a bird trap. You understand? All right. So what we doing is we teaching our people, bro, the so-called blacks and Hispanics, we are the real Jews according to the Bible. We are God's chosen people. You understand that? What's your name, big bro?
Q.
Q. Yeah. Q, let me ask you, bro, what does Jesus Christ look like?
According to the Bible, he was white.
According to the Bible, he was white? Get Revelation chapter 1. Come up, chop it up with me, Q. We your people, bro. We out here to chop it up, man. Hey, my name is Charim. So we got to ask ourselves, bro, why do they give us, you can stay on this side of the sign, bro. You good? Yeah. So the reason that you probably said that according to the Bible, Christ was white is because this is the image they give us. If you Google Jesus Christ right now, this is what's going to come up.
Right.
But I'm going to show you what Christ looked like according to the Bible. Start at verse 1.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ.
So what we finna do for you, bro, is read to you the revealing of Jesus Christ. Jump verse 14.
Verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
So the Bible say the hair on his head and the hair on his face, they were white in color and what?
Like wool.
And they were woolly in texture. So let me ask you, who has woolly hair on the face of the earth today? That's black people. You understand that? So I want you to look at this image. That's already two strikes. His hair is not white and it's not woolly. You understand that? Read on.
as white as snow,
And it was very white. Read.
and his eyes were like a flame of fire,
And it said the white part of his eyes was red. Why? Because Christ drunk wine. Read.
and his feet like unto fine brass.
Uh-oh, there we go. And it says the top of his feet look like fine brass. Q, what color is brass? Brass, tan or brown. So let's see how brown Christ was.
As if they burned in a furnace.
Now, if you throw something in the fire, what color do it turn?
Black.
It's going to turn black.
That's right.
Burnt black.
That's
So
right.
Christ was a black man. You understand that?
Now I want to say this.
Go ahead.
This is how the world. This is how
First
this is how
Maccabees 3.
Christians. This is how Christians see Jesus.
You're right. You're 100% right.
That's how they see it. So my thing is this: if you a Christian, and the Bible clearly said that his hair was like wool, right?
Uh-huh.
How come you don't want to be like and wear your natural hair?
Hey, this brother is on point.
Bring it
Let me
out.
ask you something, because you made a good point. You been to the Christian church before?
Yeah, I've been to the Christian church and the
Catholic.
Jehovah's Witness.
Okay, got you. So I ain't never been to no Jehovah's Witness church, but it's probably the same. When you go to a church, what do? They read 3 scriptures for 3. You be in church for 4 hours. The pastor open up the Bible, read 3 scriptures, say God is love, praise dance, and then say, "Hey, Q, give me your damn money." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So guess what? Christians don't read the Bible. That's the point that I'm making. Now watch this. First Maccabees chapter 3. I'm gonna show you how we got this image. Verse 48.
It's the book of First Maccabees, chapter 3, verse 48.
Bring it out.
And laid open the book of the law.
So guess what? It was prophesied that that the so-called white man would lay open the book of the law. What's the book of the law, Q?
Book of the law.
Yeah. What book do you open up to find God's laws? That's the whole Bible. God said that the so-called white man will open up the Bible, read.
Wherein the
heathen, read.
had sought to paint
To do what?
sought to paint the likeness of their images.
So that's what happened. The so-called white man opened up our book and painted their images.
Bring it out.
Now you made a good point. You said that Christians say that this is what Christ looked like, and it clearly say opposite in the Bible, right? You ever heard the saying that a picture's worth 1,000 words? Revelation. I'll show you what the real Christ of the Bible says. I'm gonna show you a prophecy that he gave us. Revelation chapter 13. And a Christian pastor will never read this. Read.
Right.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 9. If any, verse 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
So guess what? Christ said, if a nation of people leads one nation of people into captivity, what's gonna happen to them? Read it again.
He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
So what did Christ say right there? Christ said, because they led us into captivity, guess what they got to do? They got to go into captivity. Because they made us slaves, they got to be slaves.
Right.
That's a picture is worth 1,000 words. Yeah, let me finish this and I'm going to let you chop it up, all right? Go ahead.
He that killeth with the sword
And God said, because this white man kill us with the sword, what must happen?
must be killed with the sword.
Right. Guess what, Q? God said there will be a payback for Trayvon Martin. There will be a payback for George Floyd. There will be a payback for Ahmaud Arbery and the millions of other of our forefathers they done killed in America. But guess what? Christ said he's going to give that recompense. He's going to give that payback. And that's going to come from a black Christ, not no damn white man.
Right.
When Christ come back, he ain't coming back with butterflies and say, oh, I love all the little people of the world. I want to give everybody a hug and a kiss. No, Christ ain't doing that stuff. Christ said when he coming back to kill. You understand that? Now what's your question, Q?
All right. Now I was going to say, I heard you say earlier that Hispanics and blacks is down to
Right.
Now, we all agree that we all have woolly hair, right?
Right.
And we the only beings that have this type of hair, correct?
You never seen a Puerto Rican?
Wait.
Go ahead.
So we the only people that have, like this kind of hair, right?
Go ahead.
Which, when you burn it, it turns into a 9. And we the highest on the periodic table.
Oh, you said when you burn it, it turns to what?
Our hair. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the most kinkiest
Uh-huh.
on this planet. So, are Hispanic hair like that too?
Yes. Puerto Ricans have woolly hair. They be having afros all the time. I'll give you an example.
Hold on.
Hey, hold on, bro. Q, I'm gonna let you continue your point, but I want you to look across the street. You see that brother right there that's in the front, that's walking?
Where?
Way across the street.
Okay.
That brother's Puerto Rican, but he looked just like you and me. You would have never even known that he was black.
Is he Puerto Rican like by his DNA or location?
He's Puerto Rican by his DNA. His daddy is Puerto Rican.
Is he? So, Big Daddy from Puerto Rico?
Yes, he's Puerto Rican. He's Puerto Rican. Guess what? Some of these people around here, they Native Americans. Because guess what? This brother right here, guess what? He's a Native American.
Right.
Now, I understand where the confusion might come in because a lot of times they don't show the Hispanics that have curly hair on TV. They only show the ones that's real light skinned. Same thing with Puerto Ricans. But when you go to different places like New York, which we've been, and we got teachers there, a lot of them look just like us. Hold on, let me prove this point. I'm gonna let you talk. All right, Jeremiah 50:33. Let me show you something. Because I understand what you're saying, but you got to understand that it's not just always about look. We showing that Christ did have woolly hair. We showing that the real Jews did have woolly hair, but God said you don't identify the real Jews based off of what they look like. You identify them based off the things they go through according to Deuteronomy 28.
Right.
All right? And I'll get there after I let you ask your question, but read this. Watch this.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 33.
Bring it out.
Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel. And
So God said the children of Israel is talking about those Hispanics and Latinos. Those are the children of Israel. Read.
and the children of Judah.
Children of Judah would be like the so-called blacks, Jamaicans, Haitians. The children of, so the blacks and Hispanics, read.
Were oppressed together.
So it was prophesied that we would be oppressed together. For example, when you go to a lot of hoods, who's in those hoods? You see blacks and Mexicans, especially
right.
when you go to places like New York, California, you know what I'm saying, LA. You see blacks and Mexicans in Mexico. Or I'll give you another example. You heard of Ahmaud Arbery, right? What happened with Ahmaud Arbery? Do you remember? He was jogging in the neighborhood in Atlanta and a white man followed him and shot him. You ever heard of ICE? What is ICE? What do they do to the so-called Hispanics? Don't they chase them down and do the same thing that they did to our brother Ahmaud Arbery?
Right.
That's us being oppressed together.
Right.
You understand that?
Teach, y'all.
So now go ahead and ask your next question.
All right, so how come Africans is not God's chosen people?
Go to Isaiah chapter 11, verse 11. I want you to look at this sign. Now, you got to actually Exodus chapter 11, verse 7. Because my brother right here, he might be considered Africa. He came from Rwanda, which is close to Africa. You understand it? So,
He look just like me.
yes.
Wait,
Go ahead.
So you saying that a Hispanic guy look more like me than this man right here?
Exodus chapter 11. I'm gonna answer your question.
Not according to the Bible. This, as a man, no. As a man, you know what I'm saying? Ain't it the religion? A Hispanic guy up through here that do concrete and build these houses around here.
Yeah.
Do he look more like me than him?
No, he don't. But what's your point? He don't. But what's your point? Right. So hold on. So I said. Hold on. So I said no. So now what's your point?
Or any other African?
So I said no. So now what's your point? I know. I'm telling you that an African might look more like you than a Hispanic. So now what's the point after that?
The point is, but you just said
That y'all look alike?
No. My point is that you said that the Hispanics and the blacks over here, the Black Americans, are God's chosen people.
Correct. Now, want me to prove that? Go to Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. Let's go there. Deuteronomy. And then I'm going to touch on the point of us being different from the Africans. Because everything we prove, bro, we're going to prove it with the Bible. You know what I'm saying? So go to Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 15. I'm going to show you how you know who the real Jews are. Hold on. Actually, go to Hosea chapter 7 and verse 8. Because I want to show you that, do you know the history of the Hispanics? Just like they were conquered, just like you know how we were conquered by the white man? Guess what? They was conquered by the white man before us. So what happened when we got conquered by the white man? What did we start to do with they women and with they men?
What we start to do with what?
We started to sleep with them and we started to mix with them. You understand that? So that's why you have light-skinned black people, right?
And that's why you have like 8 different types of blood types.
Right, so hold on. So, but my point is, you have light-skinned black people because we started mixing with them. Now you got to understand that the Hispanics started mixing with them 200 years before we did. You understand that? So obviously they will be more light-skinned than we are. So now go to Hosea chapter 7 verse 8. Read.
It's the book of Hosea, chapter 7, verse 8. Ephraim, he hath mixed himself among the people.
So Ephraim is talking about the so-called Latinos or Hispanics. God prophesies that they will mix with the people. Guess what? They mix with the white people. They mix with the Chinese people. That's why they're a little bit brighter than us. You understand that? Read on.
Ephraim is a cake not turned.
Now God compared Ephraim to an uncooked cake. You understand that? Why? Because a cake that haven't been baked all the way is not as dark as it would be if you cooked it the whole time. Now go to Deuteronomy chapter 28. So God let us know that the Hispanics will be lighter than us.
We used to scream black power while Charim was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.